creation, day 5, rim creation. Alright, so at this point we've shelled out the car. We're going into our second pass. Let's go ahead and get this rim started, because I think when we talk about shading, rendering, and lighting, it's going to be nice to go ahead and put a chrome shader on your car right away instead of a week after you're done rendering. Alright, so what I've done here, I have my catalog. About halfway down you can actually get a nice overview of the images here. The only issue is, I think, if I say I don't want to use this stock rim here, this is a very complicated rim. It's doing a lot of different things. It's like a Christmas tree ornament, so I don't want to deal with that one. I want to deal with something a little bit easier. And what comes standard is these V-spokes. So the only issue is that if I zoom in on this thing, let's go ahead and get closer to that. Start to fall apart right here. Oops. Lost that. There you go. Anyways, it starts to fall apart, and something that I don't want to have to deal with. So I just usually take the data, the name of the rim down here. So in this case I took a 19-inch V-spoke 331. I typed that in, V-spoke 331. Apparently that's a BMW thing, because they all come up with the BMWs. And go over here, see if there's any large size. There's not. I just took a medium size. I took this image and this image here, and I want to talk about how we're going to set this up and format this. So I bring these images into Photoshop, so I got a nice clean looking rim. This one's even a little bit better. So say I'm going to give you guys two of them. You want this to be front on, meaning that you don't want it to be from this angle here. You don't want this. This is not going to help you. You do want this as a reference image, though. You do want that as a reference image if you need it. Just to understand what's happening on the interior of this spoke. This is actually a 3D image, so I'm going to take this, say picture as, put that in my reference folder. So this is actually a good image for the breakdown, but this is not a good image to start with. So say you find and you continue looking, or you don't have enough time, and you do find an image like this. Well, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and format this to a 1024. Make sure you have a square image, 1024. Oops. So I'll make a new image there, and scale this up, have a nice sizable image. 1024 is really good size for this, for a lot of textures that you'll use and create. And then I'm actually going to rotate this, because I want to slice right through. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. What I'm looking for is to see if I can see on top of this particular spoke, this circle here, if I can see this, not in an elliptical view like this. I don't want to see it in that view. I want to see it as much as I can see it straight on. So the BMW circle is okay, but this one looks alright. So I'm actually going to go through. Yeah, I'm just going to cut right through this middle right here and see if we can make another circle. So I'm going to test this. See what kind of circle we have. Go right through the BMW. Bring on my cylindrical circle. So it's an elliptical shape because I've just made an actual circle. Let me redraw that. Yeah, so this is an actual circle. I'm holding Alt and Shift together to constrain that circle and scale it. So down here it works. In this area it's working here. It's actually giving me a circle. In this half it does too. Up here It's not. So we need to cut right through this. We need to cut right through this. Not this way, but I'm just going to cut up probably this way. Maybe this way. But the, you know, to be honest, it only really matters just this section here. That's the only thing that really matters. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler. And I got to turn this image. Delete that half. Deselect. Snap it on. Just flip this. Okay, so now at the bottom is where what I really want. I want to make sure that this side is identical to this side, because we're actually going to make this one unique shape. And then this side is okay. This is fine. The top I'm not worried about. Alright, let's flip this because I want to look at this from the top view. So I format this way. I can save it out. Are we in my image source? Let's go to our project file. Save that. Now I demonstrated that just in case you have an image like that, you have a hard time finding your image and this is the only one that really comes up. I'm actually going to go ahead and take this one as well. I'm going to do the same thing again. Let me just go ahead and grab this. I'm going to place that right on top of this. I did that because I already have a 1024 image. I'm not going to make another one. Then I'm just going to line this up. I'm using this one because of the contrast. I like the contrast a lot better. And we'll filter this. And sharpen it a little bit. Take this half. Control C, Control V, flip. Make sure we have identical shape. Now if you don't do this, and I've been a victim of this, forgetting this step, you will have a lopsided tire. You will have problems and it will drive you crazy. So you can see how much more of a circle this is because they're using a better camera view. So I'm going to save this, my source images folder, Rim2. I'm going to go to Maya. I have actually a new scene I'm going to import this into later. And we're going to set this up similar to how we set up the image reference planes here. Go into polyplane, I'm going to go into my inputs, go to 1, I'm going to rotate this in see, X, because when I bring the tire in, it's going to be, nope, I'm going to rotate this in Z. When I bring the tire in, it's going to be coming in on the side, and the car's pointing the other way. And you can keep it this size if you want to, that's fine. But very important that you guys follow along with this axis that I'm creating, because when I get ready to input some information into rotating this and duplicating this, if you don't have it on the right axis and you put in the same information I have, it's not going to work. I'm going to set this up, and then we're going to split this video into another one. Okay, so now that we have an image plane in, I'm going to go to Hypershade. I have a hotkey for that. And I'm going to create a Lambert. Double click or hit Control A for the attribute editor. Bring them to create render node. Go to File. I'm going to click in here. Because I've already used my, I have the wrong project set. Because I've already used my let's go to the other project. You can access your other projects from here as well. BMW5 series. Go to source images, and we're going to take on rim 2. Bring that in, drag and drop, hit 6, and it's sideways. Go here, go into my side view, and bring back my module, create UVs based on camera, and that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and save this file, BMW5 series rim setup 01. Make sure you name this accordingly, because rims can be difficult and take some time, and if you decide to create a whole bunch of these, it's good to just grab them out of their own particular file. I'm going to go into the channel box. I'm going to set up a layer for this. Call this a reference layer. Ref layer. We'll just save that, and we'll go ahead and save this. We're going to go back to Photoshop on our next step. Actually, let me keep that on the same video. So while in Photoshop, what I'm going to do is I'm only focused on one actual shape here. So Illustrator guys, which would probably be Jeremy, Dexter, you can do this in Illustrator as well. But some people don't know that, so I'm not going to bring that, open up that program. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use the pen tool, and this is a new step that I've added for this particular term. I'm going to use the pen tool. I'm just going to cut around here, just as I'm using the create polygon tool. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this particular shape. Let's see, I think I might want this. I know that happens. Oops. So now that I quickly have traced this, I have my work path here. I'm going to go to File, Export, Path to Illustrator. I'm going to save this in my source images folder, which I believe I'm already here. I'm going to call this rim underscore or rim2 underscore path. Save. And let's go back to Maya. I'm going to import this. Maya will import Illustrator files. Adobe R Illustrator. You can't just put Adobe Illustrator, you have to copyright each individual thing. Let's see that. And we'll go back to our source images, and they're there. Import that. See where it ended up. That is selected.
When you save the pen as?
Illustrator. Oh, there they go. That's huge. Okay, so as you can see, the path came in as I've drawn it. Let me go ahead and set this up. It'd be nice if it would orient itself, but I guess it's not. It actually comes in at I have no idea how it comes in. Alright, so you just go through and line this up, and then we'll work from there.